If you really want to understand Jerusalem, you can't just look at today's headlines. It's not enough. We've got to go back way, way back. So in this explainer, we're going to peel back 5,000 years of history to see how this one city became so central to, well, pretty much the entire world. Let's dive in. So, this is the big question, right? How did this happen? And the answer isn't some single, simple event. It's written in the city's actual stones, it's in ancient scriptures, and it's in the countless stories of the people who have called this place home or fought tooth and nail to control it. The answer, really, is its history.
Okay, so let's start at the very beginning. Long before it was a prize for empires or a flashpoint in the news, Jerusalem was just a small settlement, but it was a place that would soon become the heart of a kingdom and, even more importantly, the center of a faith.
Look how quickly Jerusalem's identity gets forged here. It starts out way back around 3000 BCE, but the real game changer comes in the 10th century BCE. This is when King David makes it the capital of the Kingdom of Israel. Then, just a generation later, his son Solomon builds the first temple, and boom, it's transformed from just a political center into a spiritual one.
And this is absolutely crucial to understand. The temple wasn't just some building. It was the sacred heart of Israelite worship. For them, it was the dwelling place for God on earth. Its construction made Jerusalem the undeniable spiritual center for the Jewish people, a status that would just echo through millennia and shape every single chapter of its story from here on out.
So after it's founded, Jerusalem's story becomes this constant cycle of conquest. I mean, think about it. Its location is at this crossroads of continents, and it has this profound spiritual importance. That made it a prize everyone wanted, and a long, long line of empires would come to leave their mark on the city.
This table just lays it all out, that cycle of conquest. Notice how quickly power changes hands. First up, you've got the Persians in 539 BCE. Then, the Hellenistic kingdoms, spreading Greek culture after Alexander the Great's conquests. And then, of course, the mighty Roman Empire shows up in 63 BCE. Each one reshaped the city, but through it all, Jerusalem always remained this vital center of Jewish life.
Okay, now this date, 70 CE, is one of the most significant and frankly tragic turning points in his whole story. So after the first temple was destroyed centuries earlier, a second temple was built. But during a major revolt against Rome, the Roman legions just leveled it. It was a catastrophic event that completely changed the course of Judaism and scattered its people across the world. But even then, Jerusalem's place in their hearts never went away.
So, for the next few hundred years, Jerusalem is under Roman, and later Byzantine rule. That's basically the Eastern Roman Empire. But then, in the 7th century, a whole new force emerges from the Arabian Peninsula, and it brings with it a new faith that's about to add another sacred layer to this already ancient city.
And this is the year it happens. Arab forces under the Caliph Umar conquer Jerusalem. This was a monumental shift. For the very first time, the city came under Islamic rule, and its identity was about to expand in some really profound ways.
So, under Islamic rule, Jerusalem, now also known by its Arabic name Al-Quds, became the third holiest city for Muslims. It just flourished as a center for Islamic learning and culture. And the Umayyad dynasty cemented this new identity by building the incredible Dome of the Rock, right on the Temple Mount, the exact site of the former Jewish temples. This created that iconic landmark that, defines the city's skyline to this day. Okay, let's fast forward through centuries of rule by various Islamic dynasties, because we're moving into the era that directly sets the stage for the 20th century. Two more empires would control Jerusalem before the modern map was drawn, the Ottomans and then the British.
So in 1517, the Ottoman Empire kicks off its 400-year rule. Think about that. 4 centuries of relative stability. The famous stone walls you see around the old city today, they built those. The Ottomans governed this complex, multi-religious city, and that long era only came to a crashing halt with their defeat in World War I. So, in 1917, power shifts, and the city gets placed under a new authority, the British Mandate.
Now, here's the crucial thing that happened during the British period. The demographics started to change. This era saw a really significant increase in Jewish immigration to the region, and many of them settled in and around Jerusalem. This population shift basically laid the groundwork for the intense political struggles that were right around the corner.
And that brings us to the final, and let's be honest, probably the most turbulent chapter of our story. This is where all those layers of history we've just talked about collide and create the complex, contested city we know today.
The year 1948. This is the watershed moment. For the Jewish people, it marks the incredible establishment of the State of Israel, with Jerusalem declared its capital. For Palestinians and the wider Arab world, it marks the beginning of a conflict over land and sovereignty that puts Jerusalem at its absolute core. The exact same year, but two completely different realities.
You know, this quote just says it all. When you walk through Jerusalem today, you're not just in one city. You are walking through a living, breathing museum. You can see stones laid by the Romans. You can walk the paths of prophets. And you can stand in the shadow of mosques and temples built by empires that have been gone for centuries. Each layer is still right there, visible.
If 5,000 years of history have taught us anything, it's that Jerusalem is a city of constant transformation. It's been a capital, a holy site, a prize, and a battleground. Its past is this incredibly complex mosaic of conquest and faith. So the only question left is, what comes next?